Hi, it's Snorgle. Welcome back to Peaceful Minecraft. We certainly could die, but there's no gribblers, there's no mobs. It's just us exploring the world. Everything has stuff. I'm a relatively new player to Minecraft. I've only been playing it a few months. And I have a regular survival, not hardcore, but hard. Why is it not letting me put my thing down? There. I have a regular Minecraft world. This is not it. This is just me wanting to explore every biome and check out the world of Minecraft. And just see what it has to offer. I think we're currently in a swamp biome. So essentially, I'm just kind of going where that last number there continues to go down. I have a question. So it takes me forever to break this, but when I watch some people, I don't need all these, so we're just going to get rid of these. When I watch some YouTubers play and they extract their boat, it takes like a couple of punches, and for me it just takes forever. I don't quite understand it. I really love just checking out everything, like all the different biomes and how they're subtly different but all tie together. Like, it's really fascinating to me. There's a bunch of sand. I also love like sort of where the biomes meet up. I think that's really cool too. Oh, don't go there. Sometimes you just want to explore without having to worry about anything being mean or attacking you or causing you trouble. Sometimes you just want to check something out. Not just in Minecraft, in real life too. And that's okay sometimes. Just hang out and chill. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't take damage. Yeah, just kind of hang out, experience the world. No challenges. Nothing to build particularly. Just experience the world as it is for the sake of experiencing it. Not to be said for that. I've mentioned this before. I work fully remotely. I have for a long time, before lockdown, and for years, pre-lockdown. I traveled full time for about 5 years, and I always hear people my age say, "I'm going to travel when I retire." And but let me tell you, travel when you're young. Like it changed my life. I experienced so many cultures and so many different things that completely changed my perspective on just how I view the world and the people and cultures. I can't recommend it enough. It'll really open your eyes and whoa, what the sklorp? We're gonna avoid that. If you're lucky enough to be able to do that, please do it. Do it while you're young, relatively young. Don't wait till you're, I don't know, like retirement age. Like, don't do it. Just try to make it happen. So when I traveled, one of the things that I did was I would stay in vacation rentals, but I would stay in vacation rentals in the shoulder season or off season. And that's the thing that's really interesting, is that you can get really good deals. I got some really fantastic deals just because in a lot of cases, when there's like a 3-month high season, the people who own those vacation rentals don't ever expect them to rent in the off season or the shoulder season. Maybe a little bit in the shoulder season, but in a lot of places, it's just, they expect those 3 months of the high season and that is it. And so you can get some really good deals. I remember at the time, my rule was, on average, I would not spend more than per month than what my rent was from the place that I used to live, the large city, western city. Um, do I need coal? You know what? It's not going to hurt. I see some. It's not going to hurt. We'll take some. So yeah, if you can do it, I recommend doing it. And if you can't do that as a way of life, maybe try to travel more for vacations. And it doesn't have to be even very far. I thought about traveling internationally when I was doing that, but I talked to an attorney, and they said because I'm working, it makes visas and everything else just infinitely more difficult. It makes it actually extremely hard, which makes sense because you are working. So that was unfortunate, but I saw a ton of my country, of the U.S., things I never ever thought I would see. Places, whoa, jeez, how far down that goes. It literally just changed my life. I experienced stuff I never thought I'd experience. I went to places I never even really thought about going before. It was just marvelous, absolutely marvelous. And experiencing new things is important, very important. In some ways, it's what life is about, right? Discovering new things and expanding your mind. And sometimes expanding your mind is just going to a new place, It's so funny, like when you're traveling full time like that after years. I found out the sweet spot when I first started. I would stay about a month in a place and then I would leave. And I felt that a little bit frustrating. I felt like just as I was starting to get to know the culture, then I'd leave. Plus, think about it, every month you have to pack up and go, and So then I experimented a little bit more, and I came upon a sweet spot of 3 months. 3 months was the perfect time to stay in some place. You really get to know it. You don't overstay your welcome, and then you can move on. It was the. I know I said I keep that number I love going up. I'm not horribly brutal about it. I just, in general, I like to keep it going up. But yeah, it's. I saw some of the most beautiful things some beautiful places I've ever seen in my entire life. I took this back road, this small back highway, traveling from. I was staying in at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains in northern Georgia, and I traveled from there to Asheville, North Carolina. And so which way am I going? I'm going this way. Okay. And that road, it went through I think it was either a state park or a national park, and the road sort of hugged this river. And it was legitimately one of those beautiful drives I've ever taken in my entire life. It was incredible. I still think about that to this day. And Asheville, we didn't stay in Asheville. We stayed in a small town outside of Asheville. But Asheville itself is such a funky city. They have a real housing problem there, actually. The cost of housing, I think that there's a bunch of retired people moved there, and not just, and I'm not slagging on retired people because they have to live somewhere. I have no problem with that at all. But it's just, I don't think that the city managed it well, and that the cost of living of renting or buying a house in Nashville is astronomical, which is too bad because it seems like a really cool, funky city. Seems very neat. I liked Nashville quite a bit. I actually had a relatively decent taco at a Mexican place in Nashville. I'm a little bit surprised because I would not equate that with North Carolina. I'm not gonna lie. And I very much liked staying in Appalachia. The Appalachian Mountains, the culture and the people there are amazing, like legitimately amazing. What is that? Is that just a weird tree? That looks. Oh, I guess it's. Boy, some of this, because everything's so blocky, some things look real, man-made, and they're not. What is that? That is man-made. That's what I thought. Yeah, Asheville was amazing. Asheville was very cool, and the house I stayed at was it's a very old house, and it was a very strange house because it was like it started off as one small house. Oh, look at that! It is a little village. It's like it started off as one small house, and they sort of just added it together, and it seemed like the kind of house that might be like in a movie, you know, like it was just cobbled together from different pieces, and it literally looked like that. It was very strange. It was huge. The house was absolutely massive. 6 bedrooms and like 4 bathrooms. A little bit run down, but it was okay. But the plot it was on was so beautiful. It's just incredible. Let's go check out this village. See what's going on here. What's going on in here? Anything? No. I'd like to see what these villagers are up to. Check out the procedurally generated houses and structures. Yeah, this is always a little brew thing in there. Oops, there we go. That's just pleasant. Like little. That's really nice. I like that, actually. Oh. Don't care about that. No. No. Well, I guess we go. That's where we're going? No. Where we're going? Wrong way. Oh, going. Wait. No, this is the right way. Okay. I stayed in this ski resort when I was traveling full time. I stayed in this ski resort. I think it was springtime. In Pennsylvania, a small town in about an hour and a half. Let's try going this way just a little bit. About an hour and a half east of Pittsburgh. And so when you stay in small places like that, you know, like about once a month, I'd hop in my car, minivan. That's right. Jealous. The minivan was, I know it's stupid, but the minivan was absolutely perfect for that type of travel. It really was. So once a month, you know, travel into the big town, the big city, which was, you know, that I picked places where there was a larger city so that it wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg. You know, I could go to Costco and I could buy some stuff in bulk from Costco, and I could get Trader Joe's and, you know, that type of thing. And the thing I noticed in Pennsylvania, it's so funny because you notice these things that, like, there are these rolling hills, and I've never seen them before in real life. And you know, it's funny. You think about some things and you think, you know, sometimes you think of things, look and think, well, that's just, you know, those are just calendars, and things don't look like that in real life, but they really do. Let's go this way a little bit. Some things really do look like they do in calendars, you know? It's not just set up, it's not photoshopped, it's not whatever. They really look that amazing, you know? And that was one of those things. I'd never seen those types of rolling hills before. It was incredible. It was genuinely amazing. I remember talking to some of the local people, and there was this big Amish, like, tourist place, you know? And again, this was like spring, so nobody was there. I mean, it's. I was there, and the locals were there, but nobody was at the ski resort, and there was a couple of little things going on, but in general, you know, nobody was really there. And let's see. Okay. And I mentioned this. I said, oh, it's really interesting that the Amish, you know, have this. Oh gosh, how am I going to get up here? That the Amish have this gift shop. I wouldn't have thought that. And one of the people laughed and said that they're not Amish. I was like, what are you talking about? It says, you know, it says Amish, whatever. They're like, no, they're fake Amish. They're Amish for the tourists. I hadn't even realized that was a thing. That people fake being Amish for the tourists. And then I looked at it and it kind of made sense because someone was out there with like a leaf blower, you know. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I get it. I understand it now. You know, you got to make a buck. That was funny. That was genuinely funny. let's see. What are we going to do here? We just need to get up this mountain with relative ease, maybe. We should be near-ish to the top-ish. Yeah, but I always thought that was just kind of funny. People were faking being Amish. I mean, because of course they do, right? But that part of the country was just amazing. And I will say that Philadelphia, not Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the worst designed roads of any city I've ever seen. They're so confusing and weird, and one of the bridges closed down at night, and it really is confusing. But it's surprisingly hip city. It was a pretty hip city, you know. You could see places where they converted the old steel mills into something kind of funky and like multi-use applications. It was really interesting to see. Hello, how you doing? What are we looking at here? Holy crap! Look how high up we are. I didn't think we were that high up. I say that every time I climb a mountain. Every time. It always seems kind of amazing and fantastical, you know? Anyway, that was very cool. I very much enjoyed staying in Pennsylvania. I hadn't been there before, and it was just I hadn't seen country like that before. Those rolling hills, and it was quite gorgeous. Really pretty. Oh, ouch. Whew. I'm glad that wasn't worse. Okay. Let's go. I stayed in some larger cities as well. I also stayed in a city in kind of far south, mainland Florida. And it was a golf resort. I'm not a golfer at all. But again, you can get a really good deal because this was leading up to the holiday season, so nobody was really there. And the thing that I'd never been to South Florida before, and the thing that struck out to me was they genuinely had Dr. Seuss birds. They had a bunch of birds that just looked like they were straight out of a Dr. Seuss book. I had never experienced anything like that. Just crazy. And like the place we stayed had this, you know, a lot of times in these tourist places, they have like a binder, you know, that gives you a little information about what they expect from you as a guest and you know, some rules, but also just some things to do. And one of the things they said, and I saw this more than once, was don't take a selfie with an alligator because it's very dangerous. And I was like, really? You need to really tell people that? And then I looked it up, and nope, somebody like just not a few months before that got. I'm not sure they were killed, but I think they were injured very severely by trying to take a selfie with an alligator. Like, what the heck? You know? What is wrong with you? When you see something like an alligator, what is this? What is this? Oh, it's a boat. Huh. When you see an alligator, and you're not used to it, people in Florida are used to it, but I'd never seen an alligator in real life before, maybe in the zoo, but when you see them going along, they do genuinely look like dinosaurs. And they're scary as heck. And then, like, I remember at night, I would take out the trash at, 8, 9 at night or something like that. And you'd hear the alligators making this huffing sound, like sound. Look it up on YouTube, like the kind of huffing sound that alligators make. It's legitimately terrifying. I remember taking the trash out one day, and there was a little bunny hopping along. I looked at the bunny, was like, I think you better not go near the canal, buddy. You would make a really good snack for a hungry alligator, or even a slightly peckish alligator. And then sometimes I'd sit out on the back lanai, like there's like a screened-in porch, and they would maybe we'll be on the sea at night. I'm not seeing any land, so maybe we'll. So you'd sit on the back porch, and sometimes I'd watch like some of the golfers go through, and everybody was pretty. Is that it? Let's go over here. Is this where those like shroom cows are? I don't know what they're called. Mushrooms, maybe. It's got some semi-clever name. But that was so funny because people would just walk in the canal to get their golf balls, and I was like, "That was the dude." An alligator swam by there all the time. You know, the only people who didn't and were extraordinarily careful was this group of Australians. And they'd walk up very carefully and kind of poke their clubs very carefully in the water. It's like, yep, they know what's up. Okay, here we go. Hey, look, they are the little mushrooms. Neat. Hello. Let's go to sleep. Might as well sleep on the very tippy top. Oh, wait. Yeah. Go to sleep. Good night. Wake up. Let's see, we're going this way. Yes. There's another one over there. Huh. Okay, sure, don't say hi or be friendly in the least. Let's see if we can get let's see if we can get a nice screenshot, thumbnail, as it were. Just a second. We're going to take this and put this here. I don't want any things in my hands. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Make a note of the time here. Okay. That's good. Thank you for your patience. It's so interesting though to see the genuine to see, you know, how different the animals are. You know, it's really fascinating. And like when we were in Asheville, that there's a genuine bear problem. There's a black bear. It's not a problem, but there's black bears there, and you had to, like the place we stayed, they had bear-proof containers, you know, bear-proof trash receptacles. And same with the place we stayed in northern Georgia, too. They had bear-proof trash receptacles as well. Look at the color of that. That's incredible. And you could hear the bears roaming around at night. Black bears, and in general, black bears are pretty skittish. They will leave, you know. But I always remember people saying, oh, there hasn't been a single black bear attack in North Carolina entire history. And it literally took 5 minutes of Googling to show that that is demonstrably false. Like, that is just not true. Squeak? Well, squeak to you too. This kind of cracks me up. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's so weird to lie in bed like at night or in the morning, you know, right before the sun comes up, and you hear these bears just rummaging around, you know. That's not, boy, I didn't grow up around that, but I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it. We have some land coming up. Not sure how big it is, but we have some coming up. There's some down the right. Nice little island. And we have a little dolphin accompanying us. I appreciate that. Yeah, just a little island. Doesn't look like there's much there, so we're going to keep going. I don't think there's any man-made structures over there. I don't think. Doesn't look like it. Again, hard to tell. It's hard to tell. You never know. Sometimes there are, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's trees that look like maybe like it could be the top of a house. Okay, there's some land right in front of us. Not bad. Okay. But let's hit over here, because this looks like it's a little bit more accessible than right directly in front of us. Wow, so far we have gone 150,000 clicks, blocks, whatever unit of measure is, from the spawn point. That seems like a lot, just to do, not to teleport anything, just to do manually. That seems like quite a bit. We've certainly seen a ton of different biomes, and more to see, Just exploring the world. At some point, I think I'm going to start a creative world, because I've never done that before, and I'd like to experience that as well. I kind of have some ideas of what I want to do in a creative world. I think it might be pretty cool to work a little bit on my building skills and to try to recreate some things. I thought it might be cool to recreate my childhood home. I think the home's still standing. I should double check, actually. I don't think I have any pictures myself, but surely someone does. Or if it's similar to the way it was growing up, I could just look on Google Earth Street View. I think things like that would be fun. Or maybe find like pictures of an actual English village and try to recreate that. Just kind of work on my building skills, you know? I have to do that sometime, creative, and just come up, because I enjoy, and my other standard survival mode. It's not hardcore. Like if I die, I just respawn. But I think it's normal mode. But you know, it's interesting because, whoa, okay. How do we get around this? Go over here. Go over there. But I'm building a. Okay, this is a pain. Let's go this way. See if we can find our way out of this. Because I don't feel like going down and all the way up. That seems that's not useless, but that seems worthless. You know what I mean? All right. Sorry, didn't mean to bug you. Okay, maybe down here. I like it down here. It's interesting though to different color. Oh no, that's dirt. Okay. Okay, so we can come over here and head down. Oopsie. Careful. God. Oh my gosh. What are you doing, Snorgle? Stop being a maniac. Where are those bubbles coming from? I don't like it. Okay. Sometimes challenging yourself, setting yourself outside of things you're familiar with, is a real opportunity for growth, you know? Like big time. And it's so funny when you travel full time like that for years. You get so used to not knowing where anything is, not knowing where the gas station is, not knowing where the grocery store is, not knowing which grocery store you should go to. You want to go out and eat, not knowing where a restaurant is. And that becomes the norm, you know? And when I stopped traveling, it was so strange to know, oh, I can go to this grocery store. I can go to this shop here. I really like the burgers at this place. It was so weird. I know that sounds bizarre, but it's true. Like you just get used to not being comfortable, and that becomes comfortable for you, you know? Not knowing any of the streets, not knowing how to get anywhere. You get really adept at finding your way around. Is this a, yep, it is. Okay, well, we have to stop here and check this. So let's pull into here. But see, okay, I feel like I have to punch this a bunch to get it to break. And I watch other YouTubers and they punch it like twice and it goes away. And I'm thinking, I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure I am. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Golden carrots. Okay. We'll take those too. Yeah. Okay. Where did we put? We had golden carrots in other ones, right? I thought we did. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the nuggets. I mean, why not, right? Okay, there's some nuggets in there. Trying to be more mindful about where I put stuff. I forgot I had dumped some diamonds. Sure. Okay. Sun going down? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Is there a... There's not a... I was wondering if there was a gold thing up there. There's not. That doesn't require it, but it does seem to be there. Quite a bit of them, you know? Okay. There we go. Making more progress again. That tree kind of there looks a little bit like a doggo. We go across the land? Why don't we? A little bit. Just for a little bit of a change. Maybe, the sun's going down. We can stop for the night. I mean, we don't have to, but I kind of like traveling during the day mostly. I don't know why that is. I just do. I just do. Couldn't tell you why. It's my preference. That's okay. People have preferences. I would imagine there's a lot of people who prefer traveling by night. Certainly more peaceful. Certainly more peaceful. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I will just put it down here by this chicken and go to sleep. Going to sleep helps if you're actually near the bed. Like not only in Minecraft, but in real life too. Top tip. I don't see anything else here that looks like I want to really visit it. Just making sure though, before we step down here and continue our journey. Not a bed. Boat. 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 See what this next... Let's have a very short crossing here. See what the next thing has to offer. It's a little sand, but also see some trees. Maybe the sand isn't going to last too long. It is interesting to me. You can learn, learn a lot of things, not just about the world of Minecraft, but actual physical world things. So things like, for example, I ran across a desert. This was a while ago, a few videos ago. My first time going into a desert, and they have bamboo growing. I was like, oh, that's shenanigans. Looked it up. It's not. Bamboo can grow in deserts. It can grow in deserts very well. Which is interesting. I hadn't known that before. So we learned new things. Learn new things. I try to embrace change in my life. And I know that makes me unusual, but I genuinely do. So things like you're used to using a piece of software for a long time and they change the UI, change the user interface, and maybe this happened, for a couple of things that I do, and I was a little bit of an outlier. They change the user interface, they change what the shortcut keys are, But sometimes maybe they allow you to go back to the previous keys. And almost everyone I know, you went back to the previous keys. And I was like, not me. I'm gonna do the new one. Because I think it's interesting. I also feel like stuff like that helps your brain stay healthy and I think, is that neuroplasticity? It might be. I might be using that term wrong too, because I'm an idiot. And I don't think I'm an idiot. I think I'm being self-deprecating. think I'm probably of average intelligence. Maybe, at best. Okay. I do like the different forests. Everyone just has a slightly different feel about it. Not just different biomes, just the different forests just have these slightly different feels and vibes to them, you know? You can see them being in a real world being named very much different things. You'd be like, oh yeah, you know, that's the biscuit forest or whatever. Okay, what do we have here? It's a small, short little jaunt. So we'll just. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm glad to share this with you. Me checking out peaceful Minecraft. Just relaxing and chatting, you know, about Minecraft, about life, about some things that I've done, how to handle different things. It's very important to be prepared for things. Sometimes you can't be, though, you know, sometimes you can't be prepared and you just have to deal with it like it is. Having those skills is important. Okay. I feel like we're relatively high up. Yep. I was watching a video and they were explaining about rivers, you know, and how all rivers flow into the ocean. With very, very, very few exceptions. And there's backwater and brackish rivers and things like that. But in general, all rivers flow into the ocean because the ocean is the lowest point. And I hadn't even thought of that. I mean, I know that rivers flow from up in the mountains down below, but it just hadn't occurred to me that that's why, because the ocean is the lowest point. I thought that was really cool. It makes complete sense. It just hadn't occurred to me in that very specific way. Okay. Oh man, look at that! I love this. Wow, look at that. I wonder what those trees are called. Those ones that look like they kind of have like flying saucers on top of them. You know what I mean? Like that one. What's that called? I don't know. Let's see if we can go this way. I'm trying to avoid going around the mountains because I find it to be kind of a pain. Sometimes you can't, but a lot of times you can. You can just kind of thread the needle, you know? Thread that needle. Let's see. Well, this is not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. If you have to, you have to. You know, it looks like we have to. So that's okay. Let's head up. Wow, that's the wrong way to go. This is slightly better, maybe. A little bit better, a little bit. We're kind of moving alongside here. Oh, heading to you know, I'm not, I appreciate snow, you know, in Minecraft and in real life. I'm not a snow kind of person. I've got my leather boots on, so we'll be fine. That really does look like a man-made thing. I don't think it is, but it really does look like it, doesn't it? I mean, partially because it's all squared off and it looks like it's got a little tower there. I don't think it is, but it does look like it. It does look like it. Yeah, the reason I asked do I have my leather boots is because you can apparently slink in the snow. That happened to me once. Again, the healing happened so fast in peaceful Minecraft that I didn't really die at all. But it was decidedly uncomfortable, and I didn't enjoy it. So, and I remember when I was first starting to play, one of my first 1 or 2 first videos, and somebody said, if you go into snow, make sure you wear leather boots, and they explained why, and it made total sense to me. It makes a lot of sense, but I just want to try to remember that. And, you know, there's no reason for me not to wear leather boots because there's no gribblers around. I'm not going to be fighting anything. I'm just experiencing the world. Traveling as far as I can go. I don't think I'm going to make it to the end. I don't mean the end with the stupid dragon. I mean, I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of the world, the edge of the world. Because I think I'm at what? 150,000? And the end of the world like 23 million or 30 million, something like that. Like 30 million and minus 30 million both ways. No, I'm not going to make it there. I'm not going to travel there. I wonder if anybody has traveled there like without teleporting, without anything, just like I am. Just on foot, no mods, no whatever. Just whoa. Okay. Let's head down, I guess, and try not to die. Ouch. That's interesting. I did not expect this massively huge snow biome here. Hey, bunny. That's all right, though. Again, this is part of this experience things, you know? This is the type of thing where having a horse might be better, but that's okay. I kind of don't want a horse, though, because they don't do well in not, how do I say that? Not that they don't do well. What's going on here? They don't do exceptionally well in water. So they won't get in the boat. I believe that's true. I'm reasonably sure that's true. They won't get in the boat, so you have to have a lead, and then they have to follow you, and I think they can drown if they get into certain situations. Like it's not that they can't swim. It's just that, you know, there's certain situations where it's suboptimal for the horse in Minecraft. We'll keep going until it gets a little darker. Why not? I'd like to run across a village. Maybe I like to check out the one thing I do like to check out is like the snow and ice villages because the structures are so different and kind of cool. This is a deep forest though, man. A very deep forest. I don't think in peaceful. I'm not sure I've run across. I probably have, but I was going to say I don't think I've run across a biome where llamas were just naturally, but I probably have. Okay, let's keep going. There we go. They really do nail the sort of crunchy crunch of the snow under your feet. I mean, it's funny. I talk about how I like to stay in places that have good weather. You know, I in general as an adult, I like places where I can get away with most of my time in shorts and flip flops. That's my attire. Although where I went to university, got quite a bit of snow, in fact. And that was the first time I really lived anywhere and experienced that. It was an interesting experience. I did some snowboarding. Not much, just a little bit. It wasn't too hard for me because it was not exactly right, but it's so similar to skateboarding, and I'm a skateboarder. So it was kind of fun. I know several people who are pretty hardcore skiers and snowboarders. Man, it's so expensive now, though. I was looking up what like a seasonal lift ticket is now, and it's crazy how expensive it is. I don't know how people afford it. It's like in the 4 figures. Good Lord. I mean, I get that if you go through a bunch of if you're skiing a lot, and it's worth it to you. I understand that. You know, you look at the amount of times you might ski in a season and divide it up, and maybe that's worth it to you. You know, but I just think it's the price seems to have gone up since I was there. Maybe it's just because it's more popular. The location, not necessarily skiing. Maybe it's just more popular. Could be. Okay. This biome is huge. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But that mountain on the left is just massive. Man. And more, it just is not ending. I mean, it will end. Of course. Everything does. Everything comes to a stop. Without fail, everything. That's okay. The reason things stopped is because they started in the first place. And if they hadn't started in the first place, they wouldn't be there going. You know, same with people. The cost of living is dying. That's just the way it goes. Wow. Okay. I did not expect it to be snow for all far as I could see. Let's keep going though. It's interesting. I don't quite think I've seen a biome like this. Just windswept hills with nothing but snow. Interesting. That looks like less snow over there, so that's probably where we're headed. Let's head down and head up this other side. There we go. I was thinking maybe those were man-made structures, but then I almost would like to see another mansion. And maybe I passed one. I ran across one on a live stream of Peaceful Minecraft, and it was really cool and interesting to check out. There seemed to be a lot of lore drops there and stuff. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's see. So that's one of those ice worlds, which I don't dislike, but I'm just not a huge fan of in general. Although it's a great way to make time. Like your boat on that ice, whew, just flies. Speaking of, let's try it. Uh-oh, hold on. See? You just move. Look how fast I'm going. Like it's crazy. Oh, stop. Dog on it. I didn't mean to do that. Because getting up here is a real pain. Oh, crap. I may have to make a new boat. Got it. Whew. Where are we going? This way? Yes, this way. Let's go. Hey, lava. Huh. I'm not sure I've seen lava. It's like a little dock. Neat. Stop back here. Oh, shoot. Hold it. Let's go up. Stop. Oh my gosh. Okay, whew. Scary. People just go on foot for a little bit. This is not my favorite biome. I get it and I understand it. It's just not my favorite biome. Don't know why. I do like the polar bears. Legit. I like the polar bears. No? Okay, well, fine. Let's go. Definitely make a lot of... Whoa, crash. Oh my gosh. No control. Very little control. But and then really fast. Like, ouch. What happened? Hold on. My face, I don't even know what direction I'm going anymore. Yes. Okay. Man, these last two biomes I've been have been so huge. Just massive. Okay, we'll head over this way a little bit. Definitely go, like I said, you can make a lot of time. Oopsie, stop. We have to thread the needle here. Oopsie. Okay, we stop. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like I said, it is really a great way to make up a lot of time if you need to travel a long distance. Just not my favorite. Just not my favorite. Bonk. Okay, come on. There we go. Hopefully we'll get out of this pretty soon. Seems like maybe we are. This is the way to go. Yep. I wonder what, I never really thought to see if there's a consistent sea level elevation. I never really thought that here. I should try to make a concerted effort to notice. Try to make an effort. I like this a little bit better. Still not my favorite, but I like it a little bit better than I think, I think maybe my favorite, is the Pale Garden. What the scarp is this? Look, what's in there? Is that a skeleton? Huh. I don't like it. Let's see. I don't think I need any of this. Yeah. I don't get why this is here. I'm going to take some string though, because I don't really get this because there's no mobs around. Do I have any? I got some string here. Okay. Do I need gunpowder? I don't think I do, but oh, CD. Sure. What, are these the same? Maybe the same. That's disappointing. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but good for you. I guess. Whoa, nope. No, thank you. Whoa. Good. Splurg. A splurp is going on. Hey, a village. Perfect, and the sun's just going down, so maybe we can spend the evening in the village. We'll steal a villager's bed. Not steal it, but borrow it for the evening. This looks like a pretty good sized one, too. Maybe we'll sleep in the wild. Maybe we'll sleep outside. This looks like a good sized village. Nice. Okay. Get anything? No. Yeah, let's go ahead and... What is that? Is that the moon? Huh. Let's go ahead and set our bed up here. Go sleep for the night. We'll explore the village. That will have to wait for the next video. Thank you so much for watching this peaceful Minecraft. Just chilling out, talking about various different topics, hanging out, just exploring the world of Minecraft. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time in another video. See you next time.